History awaits. Golden 60 on Sunday. Brilliant winner of the Hong Kong Classic Mile and Classic Cup. He is now just one race away for a clean sweep of the 4-year-old series to emulate the mighty Rapper Dragon, the only horse to achieve that feat so far. But this is his toughest test so far. This is the BMW Hong Kong Derby.
Produces a masterpiece with Big Eye Star. Now Ferrari, Bowman's turned the jets on. Ferrari's got the Derby parcelled up. Frankie Law, what a moment.
Some great names there. Who's going to add their name to the list this year? Well, that's what we're here to find out. This is a Hong Kong Direct BMW Derby special. I'm Andrew Lejeune. I'm joined here by Ed Sadler and Graham Cunningham. And Ed, I suppose the place to start, the big story, is Golden 60, and it's an all-home team. Home-owned, home-ridden and home-trained as well.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic story, Andrew. This is a horse who's won 9 from 10. He's undefeated this season. He's beaten these horses before in the first 2 legs of the series, and for mine, something has to go wrong for him. He has to put in a below-par performance for him to lose this race. It's at his mercy, but I think it's great. It's a bit like the Derek Leung Beauty Generation moment. I think that's what could await us on Sunday.
Yeah, Francis Loy trained. Vincent Ho will be in the saddle. Could it be bittersweet in some respects, though, Graham, for Francis Loy, if the stablemate in more than this rolls him on the weekend?
Yeah, I think he'll be delighted whichever shines. But this is a really, really significant event in the Hong Kong sporting calendar. But because of what Hong Kong has been through in recent months and is still going through, and because of what the entire world is going through now, it's taken on even greater significance. It's just a horse race, but it's a very, very special horse race.
Yeah, and it's not just racing, it's world sport in general now that's feeling it all.
Well, Hong Kong has set the tone in terms of many things in recent months, Edward, especially in the way to keep racing in the face of adversity. And the main thing is we are racing this weekend, and the fact that the Hong Kong angle runs right through this race is super seductive.
Definitely. We had the first meeting behind closed doors for Chinese New Year, the first day of the Classic Series, and there's been all this uncertainty, but best part of 2 months later, we're still going to be racing, we're still going to be having our biggest race for the year on the domestic calendar. So it's exciting that we are in this position to be able to be racing on the weekend.
Absolutely is, and we've had the barrier draw as well. That took place earlier on. How did they fare? Well, Golden 60, he came up with barrier number 9, Champions Way. One of the big 3 coming out of the Classic Mile and Classic Cup. Barrier 8 for him, Joe Moreira in the saddle for John Sires. More than this, Barrier 1, Zach Burton was the second last name out of the hat. Decrypt from the wide gate, also Private Secretary. Claire de Puente goes in the same colours as more than this. Columbus County, Barrier 3, Neil Callan, Casper Fan. Super Oasis, a first Derby ride for Wagner Borges from Barrier 4. Butterfield's drawn wide, Star Performance from 10. Amazing Beats has drawn nicely from Barrier 2 for Caris Teat. Reliable Team from 5, Savvy 9 from 7. And world famous with Alex Lima Sailor, who's a possible pace angle here from barrier number 6. All right, we'll talk about all the runners in due course. The place to start, though, is with our favourite, though, Golden 60 and the hometown hero, Vincent Ho.
Well, Vincent, it's fantastic to be joined by you here right in the heart of Hong Kong, by the harbour in Tsim Sha Tsui. The Hong Kong Derby's coming up. It's the race that everyone involved in racing here wants to win. You're a local Hong Konger, you're on the favourite Golden 60. How are you feeling about it all?
Thanks for having me here. I'm lucky to be on Golden 60 for sure. And thanks for Mr. Loy, of course, for supporting me and the owner, and who have always trusted me on him. You know, I'm just very happy to be on him. Hopefully, he stay healthy and keep working well.
Opportunities like this for local jockeys don't come up very often. The fact that you are a local jockey riding such a talented horse and representing Hong Kong in its biggest race, does that give you extra pride or satisfaction?
I didn't think of that, but for sure, I agree with you. As a local boy, to get on a good horse like this and be able to ride big races like this is not easy, and have to work extra hard than anybody else. So just hopefully he will do well, and I'll just keep improving, keep working hard.
Now the explosive turn of foot is in here from Golden 60. He's race clear now. More than this, giving chase with Champions Way. He's been the gold standard so far, and Golden 60 stretches his record even further. He's a terrific 4-year-old.
You've been around horses for much of your life. You come from a show jumping background. You've been champion apprentice here in Hong Kong. You rode in New Zealand doing your apprenticeship there before coming here. What's your relationship like with Golden 60, the horse?
It definitely is something really special to me, because it's probably one of the best horses I've ridden so far in racing. I've ridden some good horses too, but this one is special because he can have a turn of foot like a sprinter, but he can run a mile or even a bit longer.
What a battle! Golden 60 goes to the top now. 10 starts, 9 wins. He's a cracker.
Have we seen the best of Golden 60 yet, do you believe?
I think not yet, because he's still learning. He's still very young and learning each race. So I think soon, maybe even next season, when he get more mature and get a little bit stronger, then we'll see.
Is he a Group 1 horse for the future?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's one of the best miler in Hong Kong.
And do you feel that this is the season where you're reaping the rewards of all your learnings, all your hard work? Earlier on in the season, you beat Beauty Generation Rise High, a horse, Beauty Generation, who was thought of as undefeatable. You're now on the favourite for the Derby. Is this the season where you're getting the rewards for all the hard work?
I don't know. It's
That's the way it looks from the outside looking in, anyway.
But I'm lucky to, very grateful that my ex-boss supported me with Rise High for sure. It's a good horse. Unfortunately, he got injured. And of course, Golden 60, which is very lucky to, have a chance to be on them and to keep winning on them. So never take anything for granted, and just have to work extra hard to make sure I'm doing well on them. Yeah.
Well, Vincent, we've enjoyed the ride so far, watching you with Golden 60. Let's hope it continues for the Derby. Thanks for your time. All the very best of luck.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Great interview there with Vincent, with a great backdrop as well of Hong Kong Island. The weather didn't quite play its part, Graham, but Golden 60 surely will on the weekend. Yeah,
I really enjoyed watching that. And it's a bit of an old sports cliche, but everything that has gone before has come down to this day for Vincent Hull, from the day when he was on Go for Duty in 2008 to the superstar jockeys on IJC night and starstruck teenager asking Christophe Soumillon for an autograph. It's all built to this day, and this is the real springboard race for him.
I think the last couple of seasons we've really seen Vincent come of age, and then he's reaping the rewards this season, beating Beauty Generation on Rise High earlier on in the season, and now sticking with a horse like Golden 60, and that's the big thing. You go back 20 years ago, Jimmy Ting won the Classic Trials, was known then on Industrialist. Gerald Massey was on board on the Derby, though. Vincent's still here on Derby Day on the horse, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, he's always very keen on self-improvement as well. In the off-season, he's ridden in the UK, he's been to France, he went to see Monty Roberts in America as well, and he had some time off. But that aside, let's talk about the race specifically. Does Barrier 9 make any difference at all? Are you happy enough with that?
None whatsoever. He's a get-back horse anyway. What is significant, I think, for Golden 60 are the fractions. because if they go stop-start or slow here, there's one, maybe two horses in this race who can rattle home in 22.2, 22.3. He's one of them. If they go slow, they could just set things up perfectly for him.
Definitely. I think the most important thing for him, and he's been better at it recently, is his ability to relax in the race. There is always that stamina doubt about him up to 2,000 metres, but if he can settle, hopefully there's enough speed on to help him out. That'll be the key for him, I think.
I'd like to make just one point, and it's always interesting when you talk to a real expert in the field and they throw in something that you hadn't thought of. I spoke to Douglas White about Golden 60, a neutral witness, super experienced witness, multiple Derby winner, and he said, you have to remember that his latest win in the Classic Cup, mighty impressive, but it came on the back of a setback. He'd had a temperature 2 weeks earlier, and Douglas said, question is, has that race bruised him a little and just knocked him back, or does it bring him on? And I think that's the key question which many people may not have asked, and we won't get the answer until Sunday afternoon.
That is one of those things, isn't it? You won't know until they swing into the straight and the question is asked. We talk a lot about the ratings being important coming into the Derby, needing a triple figure rating. He's the highest rated horse in the race, and they're racing off level weight. So all things being equal, he's clearly, with a clear run, still the one to beat that.
Shocks are very rare. 100 Club is the key metric, Edward, in this race. Have to go back 20 years to find a horse who wasn't rated 100 or higher. 3 members of the 100 Club this weekend. Golden 60 112, more than this, and Champions Way on 107, 108 respectively.
And even your points about there aren't many shocks in the Derby. The last time, and the only time this century we've seen a double figure winner was Vital King back in 2007. So generally, one of the better credentialed horses does win the Derby.
And when Vital King did spring a surprise, horse he beat was Floral Pegasus by about that far, and Floral Pegasus had won the previous 2 legs of the 4-year-old Classic Series.
And he was trained by Paul O'Sullivan and has amazing beats coming into this weekend's race, as well as already a Derby course and distance winner as well. Okay, that's Golden 60 and Vincent Ho. After the break, we've still got all the other contenders to have a look at. Plus, he'll be looking back on the champ himself, Rapper Dragon, his clean sweep of the series back in 2017.